I don't think I do it.
Arsenal started like a house on fire. Signing number 2 for this new era. It's Judgment Day, people. Yeah! What did your boy tell you? It was never in doubt. Never in doubt. Don't believe in any love, I believe I'm self-made, yeah. Now then, people, and welcome back to the Just Your Football Show. Wow, 233 people already here. That's the Conor McGilligan effect, that is, I think. Big up to you all. Smash a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, get your comments in, and, of course, hit that notification bell. As you can see, I've got a guest with me, Return of the Mac. Mr. Conor McGilligan, how are you doing, bro? All right?
All right, mate. Better after yesterday. After yesterday, but I feel knackered, don't you, at the minute? I'm so knackered after that transfer window.
I know. It's it's been wall to wall, hasn't it? But it has been a very, very good window, right? Best since, like, in my mind, that for years, you know.
Yeah, mate, I'd say so. It's been a good one, hasn't it? I think, I've said before, and I know me and you've disagreed, but I'm probably a little bit more reserved on McKennie. However, I think overall, it's been, when you look at McKennie, he's a vast improvement, isn't he? He's a vast improvement. Big sort of win for Leeds. I thought Verb's a great signing. I love the sight of Rutter. I think Rutter's going to cause damage, and Sinistera and Rutter either side, or Nonto and Rutter, or Rutter and Sinistera. I think they're going to cause Premier League defences nightmares, but it's all up to the big man now in charge, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, we'll talk about him as well. We've got about 45 minutes, folks, so we'll bust through this as quick as we can. But what I do want to have a chat with, just first of all, big up All Leeds, aren't we, on Twitter, who's just tagged me in this post. I don't know if people have seen it, but it actually turns out that Jack Harrison was going to join Leicester last night. It's a bit of a surprise. I'm just going to quickly share this story with everyone. I'm not sure everyone will have seen it. So, according to The Athletic and Phil here, Jack Harrison was actually at Leicester, had undergone a medical, and was ready to move yesterday. And then Leeds United pulled the plug, whether or not that was because we were trying to get another player in the door. We've been in this scenario before with Dan James, for example, even in the summer, bro, you know, when we were waiting to get Dieng, and then we ended up bringing in Nonto. But that's only come out 27 minutes ago, bro. How shocked are you by that? The fact that he was actually at Leicester, it's really taken me by surprise.
Yeah, it has. I mean, I don't know if you expect that, do you? I mean, it was all very much like Leeds will let him go if they signed Zaniolo, but Zaniolo wasn't going anywhere. The clearance was too far gone with Italy and England, so that was never going to happen. I think I'm just a little bit confused about how far it went, like you, mate.
Yeah.
I mean, medical arranged. I mean, from my perspective, all the noise was Jack Harrison's happy to be a Leeds United player at this moment in time. So I don't know if we were planning on having further talks with Zaniolo before that happened, but I, for one, was happy that we kept Jack and didn't go for Zaniolo. But a little bit, you know, it makes you think, doesn't it? Is the player happy at Leeds?
Well, that's the thing, isn't it? A lot was made about Jack Harrison. Oh, where have you gone? There we go.
Yeah.
I don't know what I did there. That's better. A lot was made about Jack Harrison's celebration at the weekend, which I didn't read too much into, bro. I don't vaguely remember him going wild, apart from maybe Brentford at the end of last season. I think that's just what Jack does, but a lot's been made about that. What do you think this does for Jack Harrison now, though, right? He thought he was going to Leicester, he's had a medical, he's ready to go, and now he's going to be in contention for the weekend, probably thinking, this club don't even want me.
Yeah, that's a good point. The club don't even want him. I mean, that's another thing to factor in, but I'll be honest, Joe, he's probably looking at our forward line at the minute and thinking, there ain't a chance I'm getting in there. You know, Sinistera, Monto, even when, you know, Somerville's going to come back in. He was on fire before he left, obviously. Rutter. So he's really got his back up against the wall. And I think Leicester were crying out, weren't they, for a winger? Yeah. They brought that young lad Tete in, but I think they were crying out for an established winger. But I'd have been raging if it had gone. I'd have been raging because you're directly strengthening a relegation rival. Zaniolo does pick up a hell of a lot of injuries. He had 2 crucial injuries before the age of 23, which is nuts. So I'm pretty happy he stayed, mate. But the mentality, I don't know with Jack. I don't know what you think, but he seems like a nice guy. If he had loads of attitude, I'd be a little bit worried about him. Yeah. I think he just seems like a good guy. So I think, what does that say about the summer? Who knows?
Well, you know. He's only got 18 months left on a deal, and I'm just scanning over the article. I've not been able to read it because, as I say, it just came out really as we've gone live. But Leeds are still planning to sign a new deal. Do you think that maybe causes problems with that now with Jack? Will he look at that and say, "Nah, I can wait this out and get a move in the summer"?
Yeah, it's what benefits Leeds, isn't it, as well?
Yeah.
I think the fact that if he's going to wind it down now to 12 months, we've seen with previous players leave the club that when it gets down to 12 months, there's problems there, isn't there? Because, you know, how do you convince the player as well if he's not starting for Leeds? Could Leicester offer more money? Apparently, according to several sources that we've read last night, Rob Tanner at the Leicester Echo and a few boys on the Leeds end as well were saying that there could be a significant increase in his wage. Is there going to be more security at Premier League status? Who knows? That's a different question, isn't it? But I think Leeds will need to get this one done pretty quickly, mate, because then at least we're secured. You'd say to Jack, wouldn't you, look, we can see what happens in the summer, but we need to secure you down now for the next, I don't know, like 2 or 3 years, so then we can get some value on you. But yeah, it's I can't believe that medical there as well, but yeah,
mad, isn't it? Mad, mate. Yeah, it's really shocked me that, and I guess we'll both probably talk more on that over the coming days via videos. But the purpose of this videos, folks, was to basically rank Leeds United's transfers. I wanted to, if we have time, look at also the summer transfers. Now that we know it's done, the class of 22-23, if you like, is locked in, and just have a look at them. And I guess we're predicting the future with some we can actually give a genuine opinion on now because they've been here for 6 or 7 months. So what we'll do is, mate, I've got transfer marked up. So I thought what we would do is just have a little scan over the Leeds United transfers and just have a chat about that. Let me just move us down here. There we go. So, first one in the door, mate, Brendan Aronson, right? Look at that fee, 32.84 million. It's looking very, very pricey now, isn't it, mate?
It is, mate. Not amazing on the ball. Gives you a lot of energy, gives you a lot of endeavour, good presser. But I'm struggling to see a lot more at the minute. And I'm not chucking into the Wolves at all. I need to see more from him on the ball. I need to see him moving the ball quicker. I need to see goals, Joe. I need to see more assists. I need to see him staying on his feet a little bit more as well. You know, for now, 33 million euros, we need to be seeing a little bit more. However, I know he's 21, but at some point, you know, I presume that we're going to see more for the Jorginho Ruta deal, and he's a year younger, you know, going toward the end of the season than we'll see from Brendan Aronson. So he needs to step up definitely, because unfortunately, Joe, as you know, mate, it's that record fee. It does follow him, and it will follow him. I'm not, you know, it might be right, might be wrong, but it will do. But so far, mate, I don't know about you, but not thoroughly impressed. Very inconsistent.
Yeah, very inconsistent. I'm trying to sort out my mic. I'm getting a lot of grief over my mic because Connor's sounds crisp. I've tried to turn it down. Hopefully that's a little bit better.
Turn my laptop down, mate. I'm not going to get hearing aids.
Sorry, I've turned it down now. Hopefully that's a little bit better. You know me. Yeah, you know me, bro. I'm like so untech savvy. It's unbelievable. KP says that's better, mate. Thank you, mate. Thank you for that. Yeah, Brendan Aronson for me, mate. I've said before, like he's built like a Rizzler paper. He needs to get in the gym. It's quite frustrating how easy he gets bounced off the ball, and then proceeds to always ask for free kicks as well, Connor. I don't know what you think about that. For me, it's very frustrating to see. And do you think that his place is up for grabs now, or do we think Jesse's that in love with Brendan because he seems to like play him? I've been calling him Brendan Mount or Mason Aronson, bro. It's almost like Lampard and Mason, isn't it? So. Yeah, for me, he needs to run out of the side. That's why I didn't understand when he brought him on against Accrington. Like, he just needs some time out, leave him, you know?
Yeah, I'm sure we'll speak about another person coming on against Accrington. But yeah, I think it's one of those, mate, where, as I've said multiple times on my stuff as well, he needs to start showing a little bit more. I think his card's marked by referees. I think anytime he goes down at the minute, Brendan's down on the floor again. The problem is, mate, it always seems to be in transitions as well. When Leeds are trying to move up the pitch quickly, Brendan will get the ball into feet and then he'll flop to the floor. Some of them are fouls, definitely, but some of them you just feel he's a little bit too soft. They recover the ball and then all the time they start counter-pressing on Leeds. It feels like, and I get, right now, Brendan Aronson for me is the most frustrating player to watch because I think he's got a lot of potential there. But he needs to start showing it very soon, mate, because we can't keep getting caught in there. But yeah, 100%. I mean, I don't really know where he goes now. If we go to a 4-3-3, where on earth does he go? So I think it's obvious he gets dropped, to be honest.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think it's clear that we're going to opt for that 4-3-3, and he's got a job on his hand to fight back in. But then again, you just don't know, Jesse. He'll probably play him. I don't know. I know Alex has put a comment in saying, look, everyone was buzzing at the start of the season. Yeah, rightly so, he came in. But he has dropped off. I don't think by any stretch of the imagination any of us are writing him off and saying he's a dud and, we should sell him or whatever. He just, for me, I think he needs some time out, bro. He needs to, ideally, he needs to get in the gym, bro. This division is unforgiving when it comes to physicality, isn't it, mate?
Yeah, it's athleticism and physicality. Yeah. It's not just quality, mate. It's not just quality. These are the biggest footballers in the world. They're strong, as I've just mentioned, their athleticism's through the roof. And that's what brings them into the Premier League. And I do look at Brendan and think he's very, very slight. And aside from, I don't know about what you think, mate, but aside from the pressing, the energy, I don't really know at the minute what he's bringing. I don't really know. I mean, all season, don't get me wrong, he got that brilliant pressy goal that he scored against Chelsea, and he was obviously playing on the right in that game and doing really well. That was probably standout. Wolves, he played really well as well. Some nice moments at Southampton away. But for me, he's really, really tailed off from the sort of fourth, fifth game. And I feel like when things have got hard, I'm not saying Brendan's down tools because no way, because he puts everything in, but it does feel like, maybe he was riding on the crest of a wave when he first came, and I think we all were.
Yeah, no, I agree with you on that in that respect. And I've said many a time I don't know what he gives us, and I don't think his passing's the best, and not at all. And he's got a long way to go. But how should we rank these, bro? Should we do it out of 10 or what? What we saying?
Yeah, let's do it out of 10. Yeah.
Come on then. What do you rank Brendan, especially when you consider the transfer fee, etc.?
Okay. So is this just his impact at Leeds so far then?
Yeah, let's do that. Yeah.
Okay, I'd probably go with if we're taking into consideration his price tag, I'd probably go with a 4 at the minute, mate. I don't think we've seen enough. That might be quite harsh. God.
Yeah. No, I was going to go 5, bro. I was going to go 5, bang in the middle. Yeah, there's a long way to go.
I just see, let me explain that. I see 5 as average. And I think at the minute we can't really say he's been anything above average, to be honest.
Yeah, no. And I agree with Toby here where he says Aronson will come good. He just needs time. And I think, it takes a long time to adapt to the physicality and, like you were saying earlier, the athleticism of the Premier League. So obviously next season, we might see more from him. Danny, I think you're being very generous at 7.5, mate. Very, very generous. But we'll see. Next one then, mate. Let's have a talk about Rutter, mate. Jorginho Rutter, 20-year-old centre forward, 28 million coming from Hoffenheim. Obviously, we have only seen him for like 60, 70 minutes, so it's hard for us to rank, his season thus far. But what do you make to him as a signing, mate, and what will he give Leeds?
Yeah, let's bring in the context for everybody in the comments and who are watching. If I offer this guy's higher than Aronson, I'm just doing it on his potential. And I think Rutter has got. I think he could be our best signing this window, mate. I think he's going to be top for Leeds United. Very much of the Rafinha mold you're hoping. So I think just as an acquisition, I'm going to go 7.5. What about you?
Yeah, I was going to go 7, mate. I think do you know what? Even against Accrington, you could see what he's going to bring. And I think the only thing that let him down against Accrington was his heavy touch. But obviously, the Bundesliga, and even I think it had only started the week before, hadn't it? And he hadn't played any games. So naturally,
he's not played since November, has he? Or something?
Yeah, no, exactly. So I just think I don't know about you, Connor, but what I was actually really buzzing about, obviously, we've been linked to some great names over windows gone by, and we've never got them done. And then they have an amazing season, and then they go and move on. And I think Rutter was in this mould of, say, Gakpo, Gavardi, all these names, that Kvaratskhelia, all these names that Leeds United miss out on, and then they go and take it to the next level. So, yeah, I think Rutter is a fantastic signing. It's mad to think when you can City we paid less than what we have done for Brendan now. Like obviously, it's a bit of a mad one, but I think he'll be class.
Yeah.
Next one, bro. Now I did my predicted favourite 11 when
didn't know he was that young. I forgot.
20-year-old. I know it's mad, isn't it?
No, I was on about Cine.
Cine, 23. The squad's stacked, mate, and proper young. Yeah. It's mint. Louis Sinisterra, I put him in my predicted 11, and I got a lot of stick for not having Nonto in there. And I just think a lot of people have short memories for that period where Cine, at the start of the season, he was getting goals out of nothing, almost Rafinha-esque, and we were in games. And I think Cine's elite, mate. Like, he showed that the previous season at Feyenoord, obviously doing really well in the Conference League. Yep. I think 25 million. For me, I'm going as high as an 8 with Cine. I think he's going to be that good, mate. As long as we get 10 games on the bounce from Cine at full fitness, like, he will be different gravy for me, Connor.
Yeah, I agree, mate. I think he's the best player we've got. Listen, Nonto, what we've seen so far, and we have to contextualise the fact that we're looking at Rutter here, who we've seen for like 60 minutes and all that sort of stuff. But Nonto is a young lad. I think, imagine bringing Nonto on the sort of 60, 65th minute when you've had Rutter and Sinisterra tearing the opposition up. I think for me, mate, there's a little bit more balance when Rutter's on one side and Sinisterra's on the other. I absolutely love Nonto. At the minute, form-wise, he's been our best player, Nonto, and you can't really take him on the basis of that. But like you've said, if I'm choosing my best 11, I'm sticking Sinisterra, Rutter, and Bamford as your front three, and then because I just think over time we'll see. Listen, I'm not saying Nonto's not going to be applying his trade at the highest level with Leeds, but I think those two are going to be a little bit more consistent, maybe. But I could be wrong. But I'd agree, mate. I'd go 8.5. I think Sinisterra is the best player we've got at the club.
Yeah, no, I won't. Yeah, I don't think I'd disagree, mate, to be fair. I think on Nonto as well, he's a bit of a surprise package. Obviously, we'll talk about him a little bit later on. The way everyone's waxing lyrical about him, now fullbacks will be wary of him. They'll be doubling up on him, and it'll be interesting to see if he can still create and still cause all them moments whilst being doubled up on. So, long way to go. Now, mate, we're going to talk about... Shall we go there? Shall we go there?
Oh, yeah, here he is.
More Kamara.
Go on, comment. Roll them up, comment.
I love it, bro. Mate, for me, he's my favourite player at the football club.
Get rid of him. Bring Kamara in.
I know, yeah. Swap deal. I know I've seen you on social media as well say like he's the future captain of this football club. I know you're a big fan. Yeah. For me, like, I'm not saying he's the best player, but for me, he's my favourite player. I love everything about Tyler Adams. He's just amazing, and he talked to me, man. Yeah,
immense. What an impact. Captain material. I know you love Coops, but
even I concede.
Yeah, pure leader on the pitch. And I can't remember what game it was. I don't think it was a home fixture, but he was barking at either Ayling or Cooper. I can't remember which one it was, and I love that at 23 years of age. Yeah, mate, he's combative. He's a lot better on the ball than I thought he was, and at the start, a lot better on the ball than I gave him credit for.
I still think his passing's weak, bro. Yeah, I do think his passing's weak.
Yeah, I think maybe if you press him a little bit higher, I don't know about you, but I think if you press him a little bit higher, maybe it bobbles up off him a little bit and he's not as comfortable. But that's why Rocker's there, isn't it? So I'm a massive fan. I think if we're looking at the signing, I don't know, he's come in. He's captain the States. His transfer value is probably what do you reckon? Like, I don't know what it is now, like what, 30, 35, maybe a little 30, 35, but maybe a bit higher. I don't know. If Liverpool or whatever. I mean, they were rumoured for him not long ago and scum, but I think so. As a signing from what we've got out of him, I'd probably go like 9.5, mate. I think he's been that good. I think he's been so consistent, and that's the key thing, isn't it? Just consistency.
Yeah, consistency. Yeah, you know what you're going to get from him. Big up Leeds Daily, who says, have a drink on me after a great transfer window. Thank you very much, brother. I got your message as well, mate. I've just been very busy. We'll sort something out, pal. Thanks for supporting the channel. Yeah, I think, like you say, for us to get him for as little as 17 million as well, mate, it's going to look like a real coup. And it just shows you, doesn't it? dependent. It doesn't. You can't always write people off based on their like previous club and say, "Oh, it never went well there," because he's come to Leeds United, he's come to the Premier League, and he doesn't look out of place. And when you consider, I know Calvin didn't do well in Jesse's system, but when you consider how big he was for us, and then for Adams to come in and I mean, it looks arguably better in there sometimes, doesn't it?
Yeah, I'd agree. I think if Phillips had stayed and we hadn't have got Adams and Phillips had been in this system, and this isn't hindsight, mate. You know, I was calling for Phillips to be sold for 3 or 4 months before he was. I think Phillips would have really struggled. I just don't think he didn't look towards the back end of the season like he was able to adapt through those narrow lines, and seemed to be getting beaten a lot as well. And at the end of the day, you look at Adams' injury record since he's been here. He's been consistently dependable. Phillips never was. He was too on and off for me. And obviously, there was sentiment because he was from Leeds. He was a brilliant player for Leeds in the Bielsa system. But hey, mate, obviously, I report on the City side of things for Manchester Evening News, and they're not happy with him at all. So it's not, and that's an expansive system, Joe. So I think I think Adams has been a really good coup, and well done to the club, to be fair.
Yeah, I think I've seen a lot of. I think he made his debut, his first start, and they were like, "Get him off," you know what I mean? That's what.
Won it. Yeah.
Oh, in the cup, won it? Yeah, when they got knocked out of the Carabao. Yeah, I've seen it.
Well, they've been playing Rico Lewis in there. The young lad, the 18-year-old. They've been trying to slot him in there as well. Yeah, proper.
Really. So yeah. Really, it's mad as well when you consider they've just let Cancelo go as well. It shows they rate Rico Lewis so highly. I know he's fallen out, etc. But makes you wonder if they'd have sanctioned that deal if Rico Lewis hadn't have been as good as he has. Yeah. Next one, bro, Rasmus Christensen. Tell me about it. I'm gonna say as much now, right? Like, I know you'll disagree, but when Cody was here, Cody Drama, for me, he was still the worst right back at the club.
Drama, would you?
No. Rasmus.
Sorry.
Even when Cody was here, bro. Like, he's got to that stage with me. I think he can't play football.
Yeah, he's and that's. I think you want to give him a chance, don't you, mate? But from what I've seen before, what does he bring? What does he bring? He's not quick. He's not physical for his size. Obviously, he's not versatile in terms of he can like slot in at centre back. That's not his fault, but a lot of Leeds fullbacks have been able to do that previously. I think he looks a bit stiff, Joe. Don't know about you, but I don't think he's as.
Even when he gets the ball, it's so wooden, isn't it?
I mean, it's just not a natural movement for him. It doesn't. And I'm surprised he's been playing right wing back, to be honest, for Denmark, because he just doesn't look flexible. He doesn't look loose enough to be a flying sort of winger, if you will. So. I mean, when I've seen Drame, I know look, there's some performances which haven't been amazing for Leeds, but he looks natural. He's very athletic, very physical, and I think he's going to tear it up for a promotion, chasing Luton Town. I know loads of people always turn around and say, look, it's not the Premier League, but I'd be interested to see Luke Ayling and Rasmus Christensen in the Championship now to see how well they would do. Would they overperform like Drame's doing?
Well, he's had a debut, hasn't he, at Luton, and they're saying it's quite possibly one of the best debuts they've ever seen in that.
Mate, I was searching it today because I was just interested. I do quite like Drame. I was looking at some fan reactions and stuff, and they all can't believe they've managed to get him. And it was the same thing, Joe, with Cardiff, wasn't it? So at some point, there's going to have to be a step up. You got Player of the Year at Cardiff after 6 months. So now he's stepped up a little bit because now they're going for promotion. Cardiff were trying to avoid relegation. I think the reason they've loaned Drame out is because they know he's going to slot in. But I'd agree with you, mate. I mean, capability-wise, look, Luke's decent going forward. I think he's very, very poor going back. I think he's good going forward, poor at the back. But Rasmus at the minute, mate, I'd probably have to go. I mean, I can't rate him higher than Aronson, really. So no. It's rough, that, innit? I might just have to go with I'd probably have to go like.
You want to go 3, don't you?
I'm looking at it, mate. I know what's going to happen. I'm gonna get hounded out.
No, man, it's right.
Okay,
bro.
so I'd probably go. I know he's played a few more games, but I think that's been the lack of options really there apart from Ayling. I'd probably go with a 3.5 or a 4. He's just personally, he's just not impressed me, mate. I don't know what you think. He's just not impressed me.
No, not at all. And I'll go as far as to say I think it's a waste of money, bro. I'm sorry.
It's really lucky we've paid 10 million and not 35 or 25, 30 million, isn't it?
Like, for me, we've brought in a player. This is what I didn't understand. We've brought in Rasmus Christensen and we're still playing Luke Ayling. Do you know what I mean? That's the issue. There's an issue. Like, I don't think any of us, there may be some, And I'd question you if you were, but when we put out our best 11, Luke Ayling is at right back, and now that shouldn't be happening, because I look at it now, Connor, and I go, are they going to have to give Luke a new deal?
Oh, Jesus.
Do you know what I mean, though? Because Cody's going to come back. Is Rasmus happy coming in from Salzburg to just be number 2? Like, is Cody...
The big miss was Jed Spence, man. What I'd have done when Tottenham made him out on loan. Yeah, available on loan.
You'd have gone there.
God, I'd love to get Jed Spence in, yeah. But he's not... I'm not saying he's Jed Spence, but,
no.
You know, I think Cody has a lot of similarities. I think, listen, he's a top player. He was highly thought of at Fulham. Like, I remember when we got him, people down at Fulham couldn't believe it. They were really upset. Similarly to Sonny Perkins, really. So I think he's going to be top for Leeds. I hope we keep hold of him. But Rasmus so far, mate, I think he, as I've mentioned before, just to surmise it, I think he's stiff. I think he's rigid. I don't think he's quick. I don't think he's physically that capable. And I need to see a little bit more from him, to be honest with you. We all said at the start, though, Joe, didn't we, that it'll take him time to adapt. But we've got to see it now in the second half of the season, surely.
100%. I think on his debut against Wolves, he flew into Neto, I think it was, who absolutely schooled him. And he's sort of gone, he's not really got better from that. No. Alex says, have a drink and a Yorkshire pudding, whatever that is on me, fellas. Fantastic window, to be fair. Cheers. Trust me, Alex, the Yorkshire puds are absolutely amazing. I've seen Tyler Adams on about the Yorkshire pudding wrap and stuff.
Don't get him in this shit all, mate.
But Yorkshire pudding's a different gravy. Yeah, Rasmus issues at right back. I'm going to go with you, mate. 3.5. I'd go as far as to say a 3. I really don't rate him at all. No. Max Vorber then's your next one, pal. Max Vorber, especially when you consider now, right? We're talking about Rasmus. Vorber's cheaper than him. Do you know what I mean? So therein lies, because already in such a short space of time, and I've been big on Cooper. When people would tell me, oh, we've got a championship defence, and I would go, no, we haven't. I'm sick of you saying it. And then I've seen Vorber, and I've gone, I've had to check my thinking, actually, because this guy already has just taken the defence to another level. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man, 100%. And I'm the exact same as you, and I've almost been calling for it, to be honest with you, when it's become to like fans' expectations, and it's like we can aim higher in this verb when Cooper's been an excellent servant, but when you've got this guy coming, he's 24, another one as well. Salzburg captain, played in the Champions League. He's come in, mate, and I mean, have we conceded the goal with him on the pitch yet? I don't think we have we? I mean,
we did, didn't we, when Llorente came on?
Oh, that's
Llorente against Accrington, wasn't it?
Old bomb scare. So yeah, I mean, Verber, mate, for me, partnering alongside Robin Cox. I don't think Cox really a leader. He's got all the attributes to be a leader, hasn't he? But he's not a leader. I think he's a bit timid. Put someone next to him who's a bit nasty, a bit aggressive. Will leave his footing in the right way. And I'm really happy with him, mate. I think for 10 million as well. I think you can just. The thing is, Joe, this is the comparison with Rasmus. With Rasmus, the first couple of games we were turning around to each other and we were saying he needs time. He needs, he's not looking great at the minute. Verber comes in straight away. I know it's been against lesser opposition, but just how he is on the ball, how he reads the game, his football IQ, which I always go on about, you can tell it's on another level. So I'd probably go 8.
I'm gonna go 7. I'm gonna go 7. But great signing, mate. And if we can get some more Max Vorbers in that defence in the summer, then we're going to be sweet, man. There are no excuses. We are literally now like a couple of defenders away from me saying we should be top 10. We should be at least challenging top 10, bro.
Yep, 100%. Yep, you bang on.
Next one, mate, is right. This one splits opinion. I know you are, and to be honest, I try to stay away from it because I'm not even getting into it. Someone said, and sorry for anyone who don't rate him. I'm saying, if you don't rate Mark Rocker, like your ball knowledge, listen, and I've not got great ball knowledge, but
go on, Joe, say it.
No, it's true though, right? Like Mark Rocker, for me, everyone keeps saying he's no good, and I genuinely don't understand it, bro. There's I think is it the second or the third goal at Accrington Stanley, and he plays a lovely outside of the foot ball down to Jack Harrison, who assists it for Sinisterra. And people forget that. They're just seeing the person putting it in the back of the net. They're not seeing, them that are creating them moments. And Mark Rocker is up there with the most progressive passes in the division, right?
Yeah, mate. I think you've nailed it as well there when you've said people don't see it, and they don't. I mean, it's Accrington Stanley, of course it is, but like you said, he's just a baller. Gets the ball out of his feet, and his immediate intention is to switch the ball, make it accurate, get the fullbacks involved. Everybody loved Calvin Phillips for. And Phillips wasn't able to do that in a narrow system. He wasn't able to spread the play as well as Rocker can do in this narrow, compact system, this vertical system. You're threading the ball through the eye of the needle, and it's always on Mark Rocker to get the ball and distribute. And I think Adams knows that. If you ever watch Tyler Adams and him together, Adams almost passes the ball along to Rocker, and it's always up to Rocker to play that ball through. Like you said, Joe, progressive passes. I think what was it, top 5 in the Premier League? Imagine if we played with a little bit of width, which we don't. So you're almost restricting him massively because you're not enabling him to, show his attributes in terms of the spreading a little bit. And you saw it a little bit more against Accrington. It looked like for whatever reason we're a little bit more wide. But I think Mark Rocker's. I think he's a top signing, especially for the amount we paid for him, mate. That's what I want to take into consideration as well. The amount we paid for him. So for me, 7.5, easy.
Yeah, I would have to agree. A lot of people are telling me about Danny Murphy in the chat, and I've just had a quick look. This was just an hour ago, mate. Him and Adrian Durham having a chat on TalkSport. We know that it's
dream team right there.
Yeah, and basically what he said, mate, here. With all due respect to Rocker, he's a pro footballer, but I'm not sure he's a Premier League footballer. Both Adrian Durham and Danny Murphy. Exactly. What do you make to that, bro? I mean, listen, TalkSport never the ones for getting it on the money, are they? They talk to people like Danny Mills, for feck's sake. This is what we're dealing with. But does that surprise you that someone like Danny Murphy, who's played the game and played in a similar sort of role?
Yeah, I mean, I thought Danny Murphy was always a decent player. I always liked him at Liverpool and Fulham. He's at Spurs as well, wasn't he? So he's a decent operator at the top level. But for me, I mean, Mark Rocker, it looks like he might be getting called up for the Spain squad. Mate.
I know, right? Yeah.
I mean, Joe, I'll make this point as well. Everyone goes, well, so was Diego Llorente, so was Rodrigo. It's been 10 times easier for about 10 years to get in that starting centre forward spot for Spain when they've just basically relied on Alvaro Morata, and then the back line they've literally been relying on Aspilicueta. Piqué. When you make
since Piqué and Puyol. Since Piqué and Puyol as a partnership, you haven't had no one. You've
had Eric Garcia at the back. You've had players. You've literally had Rodri going centre back. So they've had to transfer bloody Laporte over from France to get some solidity back there. So overall, it's easier to get in Spain's back line. And the front line. Their midfield is stacked, and Mark Rocker's getting called up for that. So I mean, it must be everyone in Spain getting it wrong as well. And Mark Rocker for me, mate, I think when he's got a little bit of speed and aggression next to him in terms of McKennie and Adams, I think that's going to enable him to really thrive. But I mean, Joe, me and you know, I'd love to see him with a bit of width. If we could play with a little bit of width, he would be unbelievable. Restricted, isn't he? So.
Yeah, I agree with you. This is the thing with the system, innit? It's like you're trying to pass the ball through, like eye of the needle stuff. And I just think because of the Premier League, because of the players' positional sense, like against West Ham, so many times Declan Rice just popped up and was in the way of the ball because he's aware of where the passing lanes are and stuff. This isn't Austria, but listen, that's for another day. I could go all day on that sort of stuff. But you mentioned a midfield three. I've seen a lot of people who think that it's going to be McKennie and Adams. Do you think, for me, right, you've got the destroyer in Adams, you've got the passer in Rocker, and then you've got McKennie knitting it all together, back and forth.
Yeah, mate, 100%. Rocker, like you just said, I think you summed it up perfectly. Rocker, the passer, Adams, the destroyer, and then you got McKennie, who's going to get you goals. And to be honest, mate, that's probably one thing I'd say about Rocker. He doesn't get enough goals for me. He doesn't get himself into attacking positions enough to be, because I think he's clearly got a lovely left foot on him, hasn't he? So, for me, did we give him a rating? 7.5 we did, didn't we?
Yeah, 7.5,
Yeah. But 100%, mate. I think the balance in that midfield is going to be good. I mean, it's a step up, isn't it? I've always loved Click. I have. I mean, I thought he should have been out for about 2 years, to be honest. But it's what a servant he's been for Leeds. But I think it's definitely a step up for Matthias Click.
Yeah, no, 100%. And people, when we were linked to McKennie, were saying, "Oh, this is an L." which I was
A
surprised at.
a lot of analytic guys have said it, haven't they? A lot of
Yeah, I've seen
guys
actually.
Yeah, they're all
I've
quite
seen
against
that.
it, aren't they? Interestingly.
Did you see the graphic of his?
Yeah, seen it today. Yeah.
Don't make for great reading, does it? Really, to be fair, I have to try and find it.
The annoying thing is the analytic guys as well. They're always ones at the end going, "I told you so."
Bro, I will never, and I've said this right. I will never ever doubt them again. I listen to All Stats Out Week quite religiously, and
Rarely wrong.
Yeah, no, was it last season or the season before? And they were going, everyone believes this upturn in form is because Diego Llorente is at the back, right? And they couldn't stand him since forever, since he came in. And I were going, give over, man. He's amazing. And then we're all in the end going, get him out of our club. And all I remember is them going, no good. They
get. I mean, you'll see it as well online, mate. They'll get a lot of hate, but it's because fans don't want to accept what they're saying because they'll take a step back and be objective. And unless you're turning around and saying it's an unbelievable signing, we're going to get into Europe, some fans just don't like it. They call you negative, as we all know, and they get hounded out for it. But yeah, I mean, they're not. Just read a few bits on a McKennie from a couple of those accounts, to be fair, and they're not massively keen on that sign. So it'll be interesting to see how it progresses, mate.
Definitely will, mate. We'll have a look at that graphic when we come to him. But the next one, mate, is going to be Willian Gnonto, 4.5 million. Wasn't even due to be at the football club until the summer. Was sort of forced on us a little bit because the board messed up. And I mean, mate, 4.5 million. How good he is. I'd go as far as to say he's up there with Cine, just due to the fact that we paid 4.5 million, which equates to about 3 in English pounds. It's mad.
Yeah, mate. I think price wise, you got to go. I'd go higher, but the problem is, it's like what you've just said correctly at the start. We're hoping it's not a flash in the pan, but we've got to give him a few more games.
Yeah.
But he looks terrifying, doesn't he? I mean, that Villa game, Jesus Christ. I mean, it felt like, I don't know about you, but it feels like at the minute we're funneling a lot of the play to him. You know, there's a lot of people saying, a lot of people were saying we're miles better at the minute. You know, Leeds are developing. Jesse's saying we're progressing. I feel a lot of that is down to Gnonto because we're passing the ball to him constantly. It's like, where do we go? Where's the outlet? Gnonto, see what happens. You know, get a few bodies around the box. So yeah, probably an 8.5, mate, if we look at value and all that stuff. So.
Yeah, it's mad, innit? After a couple of games, we had like Gary Neville talking about him being a Man City player and all that sort of stuff. It's Tosser. Do you know what? I don't mind Gary Neville. You've met him anyway. You've met him, haven't you?
He's all right. He's all right.
Yeah, he's a proper Labour guy as well, which I love. So I'm all over that. Willian Gnonto, I think just because of the price alone, it's amazing. Now, next one is Weston McKennie. Now, I know you were more favourable towards Azad. Just John Unahi, bro. How mad is it that he only went for 10 and they wanted like 30 off us? It's a joke, man.
I know, you just there like when it happens, aren't you? It's like, and it was 8 rising, wasn't it? 2 million was in installments.
Because we'd have bought him for that. We'd have bought him for that.
100%. And the rest, you know what I mean? You just stuck some money into another player, wouldn't you? Maybe another midfielder or another defender. But yeah, mate, I mean, I just thought when, Click's been brilliant for us for years, and I just thought that technical player, almost that real curator of chances as an advanced number 8 was Unahi. And I think McKennie's much more of a box-to-box, aggressive, physical player. They're very, very different players. So I kind of wanted a more technical player, like a younger Click. I'm all about that. So I wasn't disappointed with McKennie, but I definitely favoured Unahi. Mate, he was even, and I know a lot of people say he wouldn't have transferred it, but he was getting good numbers for Angers as well beforehand. So I think, when he's proven it against the best teams in the world, Belgium, Portugal, France, Morocco, I mean, that stands him in even better stead, surely. But I thought, what a move for... Was it Leon? I think Leon grabbed him, didn't they?
Marseille, I think. Marseille brought him.
Okay. Because I think... signing for them.
Yeah, I was listening to Phil Haypod, it might have been, and he said Victor Orta was big on him, but did say, don't pay over the odds. Don't pay over the odds, just because, obviously... prior to the World Cup, he wasn't maybe as good as. And I just think it's disappointing from our perspective, because if Angers had been realistic and said 15, Leeds United probably would have done it.
Yeah.
But then they
100%,
priced themselves out of it, and then had to, like you say, sell him for 8, rising to 10, and you just think, it's a little bit frustrating. Let's talk about Weston McKennie then. This is the graphic that we were mentioning about his output on StatsBomb over the last, or is it this season maybe? I think it is this season.
12 games under Allegri.
12 games, yeah. Doesn't make for great reading, does it, pal? Talk to me. What are your thoughts? See, I'm really excited, but again, it's more, I'm an emotional guy, and it's the very much, McKennie is American, he's one of their star boys, this is class, bring him in, I love it, I'm very much that kind of vibe. But I mean, like you've mentioned, those that are in the know with the stats and stuff are not raving about it. What are your thoughts on McKennie and the price as well? Because it's going to be quite pricey for Leeds in the end.
Yeah, you do think if he was like an absolute baller and it was almost impossible for us to get him, we'd have been paying 40, 45, 50 million for him. Juve didn't want to let him go and all this sort of stuff. And listen, I know Juve in a bit of trouble, but they've not hit that point yet. But I mean, I think this one was pre-Allegri, wasn't it? It was pre-Allegri, but still, it doesn't make incredible reading, to be honest. If you just break some of that down. I mean, to say he's we're talking about a technical number 8 beforehand in Onahi. You look at the successful dribbles there of McKennie, bombing on from that midfield and a few other bits and bats. I don't think his progressive passing is unbelievable, but as you can see there, I think Mark Rockers was in the green for that not long ago from something I saw from StatsBomb. So. Is he that sort of player though? Is he a player that's going to be passing? Is he a player that's going to be, doing all those things that we expect from Mark Rocker? Probably not. He's all about energy, mate. If we can get some goals from him, it's going to be beneficial. Yeah, a little bit wary, but I'm wary, but optimistically wary. It's a bit of a weird one. I think, he's not Onahi, but I think he'll be an improvement. So I don't know, mate. One to look out for. Maybe. I mean, we can. What can we say? I don't know. Like for a rating, I mean, you can't even. Yeah. I guess the standard of signing, you'd probably say. Yeah,
it's massive, isn't it?
Massive, yeah. So probably a 6.5 or a 7, maybe.
And I think
Jamboree Time said he was the best player in the World Cup for the USA. I'd probably say he was the worst midfielder. I'd say Adams was the best. I'd say Musa was unbelievable.
He was class.
And then I'd say probably McKennie. He wasn't a bad player.
Do you know why I rated, bro? Robinson, the left back at Fulham. I thought he was great at the World Cup. Yeah, really, really good.
Good.
Yeah, I think he was going to go to AC Milan at one point, but had an issue with his heart, didn't he? And then ended up at Fulham, I think.
Yeah.
But yeah, listen, Weston McKennie, I'm excited by it. We're Christian Pulisic away from completing the set, bro. My dog is snoring as well, for those, if you can hear him faintly. It is what it is. Yeah, he snores his head off, man. Joel Robles, mate, I think he's gash. I do. Everyone waxes on him, bro, and I think he's terrible. Not at all.
Mate, might be the first one we disagree on. I think just as a player that's come in as a second keeper, I'm all right with him. He doesn't have to be world class. He doesn't. I think he's pretty standard, isn't he?
He's better than Klassen, that's for sure.
Exactly, mate, and he's better than the other Muppet we got rid of as well.
Yes.
So I mean, hopefully he's not gonna. He seems a bit laboured, doesn't he? And slow, especially when he's on the ball. But his shot stopping seems okay. But yeah, mate, I know what you mean. There's no way he's top bracket at all, but I guess what could a club like Leeds go for when it's a second keeper? You know what I mean? I mean, I was just crying out for an experienced keeper, so I mean, I can't really double down and moan about it, to be honest.
No, fair. That's fair, bro. Look, looking at that, obviously, I know you're strapped for time. Dan James, I don't think we'll see him at the football club again, and that's cool. Do you see a future for Joe Gelhardt, bro? It's hard one, isn't it?
It's a really good question. No, I don't.
You don't? Wow.
No,
okay.
And that's not my opinion.
No, I get it.
I just don't. I think Leeds are going to evolve. I think we're going to evolve in the summer as well. I think we're going to maybe see some more attacking players come in, and I think Gelhardt's going to go a little bit further down the pecking order. I love Gelhardt, I really do, but I struggle with him a little bit, Joe, sometimes. I'm a little bit like, where do we fit him? Because we clearly know he's got an abundance of talent. I think Bielsa struggled a little bit with him on where to put him. Marsh has struggled a bit. We know the talent's there, but I don't know. Like, is he going to go to Sunderland and tear it up? I don't think so. Although Ross Stewart's now out for the season, isn't he?
I was going to say.
Opportunity. So
Yeah.
we all hope he does it 100%.
Yeah, of course.
But yeah, mate, I don't know really. Not for me. It's a controversial one, isn't it? But I don't think it's going to work for him at Leeds. I'm not saying I wouldn't want that, but
No. I agree. We still don't know. I don't think anyone knows what his best position is. But like you say, they're going to be the Mackhams are going to be banking a lot on him. Really, now that their main guys got injured. Just to finish up, bro. Thoughts on Charlie Creswell? I'm really disappointed to see that he was almost could have left permanently to Stoke, I think, at one point in the window and didn't really fancy it. He's still at Millwall. I'm disappointed, bro. I wanted him. It's not even a case of his ability, but I think it's like, for me, I just had this idea of him and Strout being our centre-back partnership for years to come,
Yeah, 100%. I think Cresswell's clearly a talented player, isn't he, mate? And isn't it funny when memories are so short, because prior to this Millwall thing, everybody wanted him back at Leeds and starting for Leeds and above Cooper and above Llorente or maybe next to Cooper. So yeah, mate, it's all interesting with Cresswell and when Coventry were looking at getting him for 4 million, it's a bit nuts, isn't it? A bit nuts.
Yeah.
But yeah, mate. I think I think keeping him around is a good thing, and I'd just like to see him in a year's time. I'd like to see him in a year's time. You know, can he learn a little bit off Verba? Can he slot in every now and again? But yeah, I'd like to see Cresswell maybe stick around the place. Who knows?
Yeah. Listen, mate. I know you've got to go.
Can I give a quick kiss to GZH?
GZH.
And I'll give a quick one to Mark Hemingway as well. See you soon, boys. All right. Living absolutely rent-free in those dudes' heads.
Oh, man.
I've given him the 30 seconds of fame there, though. They'll love that.
Do you know what, though, right? You're not there to please everyone. I remember when I went on your channel and someone put in the comments, I didn't even watch this because he's on. And I thought, I respect that, though.
It's funny, isn't it? Hey, yeah, Joe, we love the haters, don't we? They make it the haters. No, cheers for having us on, mate. Anyway, I really appreciate it. Thanks for everyone who's tuned in as well. It looks like it's been a record amount of numbers, and make sure you're subscribing to Joe's channel, of course.
Yeah, over 1,000, bro. I don't think I've had that before in a normal video. So that's the Connor effect. Before you go, mate, rank this season's transfer window.
Oh, great question. I would go 9. I think it's been brilliant. I think it's been brilliant. Really, really happy with it. Really happy with it. And yeah, mate. Listen, it's Joe. We can do it on a separate stream, but we can maybe talk about Mr. Jesse Marsh at some point. And now he's got the result, because it's all on him now. So we'll wait and see how for me as well. Must win at Forest. Must win at Forest. So let's see.
Yeah, we're a decent manager away from Europe.
That's it, mate.
We'll see. Listen, everyone, go check out One Leeds if you're not already. You probably already are. His channel, apart from Jesse H, of course.
Get him in, boys.
Come across. Get across. Just click the title and it'll take you straight through to them. What day are we on tomorrow? Thursday? Yeah, Thursday. Listen, we'll start looking ahead towards Forest. Obviously, it's going to be a massive must-win game for Leeds United. Huge. Thanks, everyone, for watching, and I'll see you again soon.